Hey guys, it's Tina D, and this is my channel, of course. I am also known as Steamy Hot Latin. So, what are we going to talk about now? Well, to all the newbies to my channel, it's time to unravel a bigger scandal. What could I be talking about? How about a Mirror article with a lot of clout? Okay, what's happening here? Let's get a close up. Whoa, who could that be? Who could that be? Well, let's read the headline. Michael Jackson's alive theory as friends urge look-alike to have a DNA test. Okay. If it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's a duck, right? And boy, yeah, it sure does look like him, don't it? All right, well, it's revelation time, and we're going to tell some truth here. A lot of you have been flocking to my channel to see the video I made about Michael Jackson back as an old man in 2020. Now, let me clarify a few things on that. What's happening in this death hoax is that Michael Jackson, to maneuver around, he's got to wear a lot of disguises. So, some of you didn't listen very carefully. I didn't say that he was back as an old man. I meant he was back as an old man. In other words, in disguise. What he does to get around, he uses liquid mask. So, that was a video where it looks like he aged himself. Okay, so what happened after that was his daughter, Paris Jackson, who gives death hoax clues to the death hoax community every now and then, actually quite a bit on the regular. She also had posted a picture of her boyfriend, age progressed as well. And then, of course, Michael had his. And they kind of do like a tag team type of thing. And she tips us off, and then he follows up to verify in one way or another. So that's pretty much what was going on there. Now this, this is a whole nother ball of wax. And actually, another picture from an earlier time of this guy ended up on the Wendy Williams show. And she's got a segment she just brought back called Celebrity Lookalikes. And somebody, she shows the original picture of a celebrity, and then she shows the picture that somebody sends in. And it's a yay or nay whether or not that person looks like the celebrity. Okay, so going back, that's what happened, I would say a couple of years ago. Well, also, this guy broke the internet a while back when a girl posted a picture of him and said, "Look at my boyfriend." He looks a lot like whoever, and everybody was going absolutely nuts. Here it is again. The Mirror is a tabloid, and they're saying that because, well, it's been buzzing that Michael Jackson's alive, the word is getting out here and there. So they have a title here, Michael Jackson's alive theory, as fans urge lookalike to have a DNA test. Yeah, of all the people I've ever seen, impersonators or anyone, nobody looks as much like him as this guy. Now don't forget, Michael has had 2 surgeries on his nose, and he had vitiligo, and he evened out his skin, so he doesn't even look like what he originally looked like. But this guy was born this way. He has a voice. He does sing. He does impersonations. He's a dancer too. And he doesn't even live on this continent. He lives in South America somewhere. His name is Sergio Cortez. He's Spanish. He has an accent. He speaks a little English. And most of the things he does post is in Spanish. But he does speak English too. A little bit. And he always seems to get the party started, so to speak, as far as upsetting people online, because you have to realize there's a lot of people who don't know what's going on. There's people who are just finding out what's going on. Michael is alive. There's tons of proof of it. We could talk about it for days, hours, even years. If we laid it all out, it would just blow your mind what's happening here. But anyway, as things have begun to unravel, this guy popped up as a joke by somebody, or someone got wind of him and was absolutely floored by his resemblance. Because, yeah, of any knockoff you'd ever want to see, this one is definitely the best by far. Squint your eyes, you are seeing double. So you can see where this might be trouble. But yeah, this guy is Sergio Cortez, and he is not Michael. And if you get a full body shot of him, which I've seen, he's a lot shorter, you can tell. So other than that, and when he sings, he's got a very, very, very heavy accent. So I can dispel the rumor that this is him. No need for that DNA test that some of the Clueless fans want. Well, I don't know. I'm not being mean or facetious. They're not clueless. But they are kind of clueless because they don't know what's going on yet. A lot of people are confused. Is he dead? Is he alive? Is it a rumor? What's happening? And then the family, they're doing all kinds of things now. There's plenty of things that clue you into he's alive. First of all, if you're family and you're grieving a brother that's died, or if you're a parent and you're grieving your son, you're not going to make jokes about him, right? And you're not going to talk about him in present tense, which they have done since the beginning. Yeah, when you're grieving, you're dealing with somebody's passing and you don't believe they're gone, you may tend to mention them in present tense, but not to the extent that they have. They appeared on shows in the early days, and people would make comments, oh, Michael was a wonderful person, etc., and, you know, we really did appreciate him, blah, 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 and they would say something like, oh, well, we'll be sure to let him know. Now, come on. Nobody would answer like that. That's more than a slip up. That's just like them being casual, not thinking, and giving a real answer. It's like reading between the lines, right? And then we had Jermaine, who had an interview with somebody, and he said something like, "Oh, Michael was gone long before we reached the airport," and then he's like, "Oh, in a hospital," you know, a slip up. So yeah, there's been slip ups, and there's been intentional things that they've said and done to let us know. Probably some of the biggest clues. One started at the memorial service. And if any of you watch the memorial service, and you can go back, it's like 2.5, 3 hours long. You can watch it in its entirety. It is flooded and loaded with clues, and nobody probably noticed until after they found out about the Dave character. Now, this is, if you Google, or should you just put in your search bar on YouTube, Dave on Larry King Live, or Dave on LKL. There's going to be a video that pops up of a guy who appears to be a burn victim. His name was David Rothenberg, except he's not the real David Rothenberg. It is actually Michael Jackson in disguise. He's got on a liquid mask, and there's tons of proof of that, immediate proof, because if you pull up any of the other videos of David Rothenberg, there's quite a few differences. First and foremost, the most obvious is his voice. This guy had a deep voice. He was a lot shorter, and most of all, he had blue eyes. And then, if you take a closer look, the mask that Michael Jackson was wearing in the Larry King video is very smoothed out. If you look at the actual burn victim, you can see the dents and craters and disfigurations in his skin. Put it side by side, and you definitely got action. One person and the other person, these two do not look like each other, okay? So, if one is the real guy, who's the other, right? All right. If some of you have been following me, I've been telling you there's two of everything. The main thing I mean about that, as far as there being two people, because what he's been doing to hide in plain sight, he has been walking around as some of his friends in liquid masks. One of the most popular ones is A.J. Farshin, better known as Jack Crooner, okay? Now, if you look at some of the original pictures of Dr. Farshin, you will see that he has dark hair, smooth skin, and not a big cleft in his chin, and he didn't have blonde hair. Of course, anybody can dye their hair blonde, but this guy seems to have a extended, thick, rubbery skin, big cleft in his chin, big nose, like there's an overlay, and a very heavy accent. He's singing in the Miami Blues Band, okay? He's been traveling all over Miami. He did a New York, New York video, and every video he has, funny thing happens in all those videos. There's flashes of Michael Jackson's videos, Michael Jackson's pictures, Michael Jackson Christmas ornament, everything you can imagine. And then he has this funny smile, and he's even addressed the fans on video and said, "Oh, some of you think I'm Michael." And then he grabs his face like he's pinching it, and it's like it's the funniest thing, the most hilarious. And then most of all, he was seen with Omar Bati, who is rumored to be Michael's son, and also Prince Michael Jackson. And they were on his yacht in Miami. And of course, if you know what's really going on, that's Michael hanging out with Omar, with his son, on the cruise ship, pretending to be Dr. Farshon. And it's like, why would this doctor be spending so much time with Michael's own kids? Kind of strange, right? If he's a doctor, has a practice, he's going to be in his office working. But that was one of his good friends that he was also pictured with. And if you know about the Spider-Man connection, Michael wanted to play and be Spider-Man in one of the movies, and with the Marvel and everything. You will see that he took a picture with Dr. Farshon with the dark hair, and he's standing next to him, and the kids are in the picture, and guess what they're wearing? They're wearing Spider-Man costumes, okay? So anyway, that was another disguise that he used. And then the other one where he's actually dancing, and I'm going to try to feature that for you guys real soon on my channel. I have to worry about copywriting and things like that. I'll see if I can put together some clips to show you what's going on. But he's been dancing on not one but two channels. So far goes from ashes. And if you look at that, it's like so far goes from ashes, like a phoenix rising out of the ashes. Anyway, what he's been doing is he's been dancing and, of course, using his own moves. Now, he wears a black fedora hat and he also wears a black mask. Now, you know, when Michael would go into public, a lot of times he would wear a mask over his face. So, really, when you see these videos of him dancing, he looks just the way he did when he went out in public, pretty much exactly the same. In one of the pictures, you can see he has a necklace around his neck. Now, supposedly that necklace he's wearing had belonged to Michael. It was a two-part necklace. One half was given to his daughter Paris, and he had the other half. Well, apparently, and it was said that that necklace was buried with Michael. Yet, funny thing happens, this Sofer Ashes guy, he's wearing the other half of the necklace. So if it's buried in a coffin or in a crypt with Michael, then how in the world is he wearing it? Can't be two places at one time. So that's another telltale sign of one of many, 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 many. So anyway, here you have it, guys. No DNA test necessary. This is Sergio Cortez, 100% sure about that, and he's not nearly as tall as Michael Jackson. I think he's only like 5'5" or 6". He's not very tall at all, and you can see that if you go ahead and catch some of his YouTube videos. You'll see him dancing and trying to perform and sing in Spanish or somewhat in English to the best degree that he can. And he's got a real heavy accent, but you can see his proportions of his body are not the same as Michael's, so it's definitely not him. But boy, that's a darn, darn, darn good look as far as being the closest that we've ever seen of any impersonator or any look-alike. And some people would look at this and say, "Oh, that's Michael for sure." Now, wouldn't you? Yeah, that's another man in the mirror, right? So there you have it. And that's all I'm going to say on this video. But keep watching. I love you guys. Make sure you to like and subscribe so you can get the latest updates, unraveled clues, and much, much more. And as I promised, I'm going to be working on a new video. One of the types that I've been known to make that you guys really like to watch. I wouldn't consider myself an investigator. I'm more of an entertainer. I do sing, and apparently I've learned how to make very good videos, according to my fans that I have worldwide. which I didn't even realize how many there were. But I do have thousands of followers. You can follow me on Twitter at Steamy Hot Latin. I'm also known as MJ's Voice. And you can visit my website. Um, I have a link listed above and below that I will also put on this video. It's on some of the others. It's on the one that everybody's been watching for the last few days. You'll find it there, and I will put it on this one as well. And then you'll be able to find my website and follow me daily on Facebook. I have a page called Believe, the Michael Jackson Death Hoax Investigation. I do update every day with articles that pop up in the news, and as I told you before, he's trying to keep his name relevant and in the news, history making, until that big fateful day when he comes back to the public eye. And I guarantee it gonna happen. So you guys keep asking when he's coming back. Well, truth is, he never left. All right, I'm out. Have a great evening, guys. And the best is yet to come.